Alice, Casper. Hey, congratulations for Mad Heidi.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
It's such a fun film. I can't believe my eyes. I mean, it's everything was just totally bonkers and totally unexpected. I'm at a loss for words, but we do have to hear it from you. Is what initially attracted you to this project? I guess ladies first, Alice.
Well, I think you said it yourself. It is, nuts and it is bonkers. And actually, it does leave people lost for words. But for me, I think the biggest thing was that I knew it would make people smile and I knew it would make people laugh. And actually, the world can be a scary place at the minute. And actually, if you can make people laugh, then it's a pretty good thing to be a part of.
Well, well said. How about you, Casper?
I agree with everything both of you just said. It was a crazy wild script. I loved the Starship Troopers references when they sent there. So I understood why they sent it to my agent and why they were thinking of me. And then I was just thrilled to be a part of it. I went over there and I talked to them. They were so excited about it. They put in details of they put in on the guards. They have Verhoeven's name as one of the guards, Rodriguez, Carl Schenkel, who was my director from Tarzan, who's German Swiss, who's no longer with us, but they paid homage to a lot of great directors, but you'll never see this. But it's just on the guards. But it's so cool that those little details that they put in. So I was right to do this film because I got to work with a wonderful and beautiful and talented Alice. And then I got to work with all these people that were so excited about being there. And I got to have so much. I was having the time of my life on this one. I'll tell you that much.
You know what? It shows on screen because it looks like everyone had a lot of fun. So, Casper, tell us about getting into this character because I've seen you in so many movies. I talked to you about so many different movies, but
Okay.
but you definitely look like you had a lot of fun.
Well, they call it play because we're doing plays or theatrical and we're supposed to still play. That's what a play is. You're still playing. So if you're not having fun doing something, even if it's serious or you're being a bad guy or you're being whatever it is, if you're not having if it's not soothing your soul in some way or shape or form, then you're doing something wrong. And I'll tell you something, they made the environment so wonderful. And it all starts with, your director and producers. They were amazing. And then your lead, who's Alice, who's unreal. My wife and I fell in love with her day one. We were like, oh my God, is she just not the coolest? And this is her first film and she rocked it. I was so impressed, so blown away. And it's such a thrill to be around that. But she was like a pro because she held it all together like that. And so it's fun for me as an old pro, an old man to come in there and then, get to play and be in there. And I don't have to do anything because she's already taken care of everything. Everything was already set. She had everybody. She was so kind to everybody and loving and sweet and supportive. Everybody felt that way. So everybody's already that way. I came in, my job was easy.
Wow, Alice, those are some kind words from
I know. I never know what to say when he compliments me like that. You're too kind to me.
Just telling the truth. I'm not a very good liar. And hence two divorces, so I'm just a terrible liar. So
Wow. Alice, tell us about getting into this character of Heidi for this film, and tell us about the preparations because you actually kind of got physical for this film.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm a martial artist myself, so I have a second dan black belt in Taekwondo, and I was really glad that I was able to apply some of those skills that I'd learned, growing up and bring it into this film. I think it was a lot of making sure that my physical strength and my stamina were as strong as they could be to carry the film because I wasn't just doing that, acting throughout the film, but I had to constantly make sure that the physical level was up there at the same time to make it believable. I was fortunate enough that they gave me the opportunity to do all my own stunts as well, so I had no stunt double. I did that all myself, and that, it takes a mental toll on you as much as the acting side does. So it was just making sure that I was all good. I was really lucky. I had such a lovely support network around me. The crew really looked after me, and the cast, Casper can say lovely things about me, but I can say them right back at him. Casper and David and, Hoshi and Kel and everyone that came. I was on set from day one to the last day. and everyone else sort of, they came and they did their bits and they left, but everyone that came knew that I had been there the whole time, and I felt very lucky that everyone came and supported me and helped give me that energy to push me through to the end.
Wow, she's tossed the compliments back to you, Casper. But I know, Casper, you've done a lot of action films. Did you miss doing some of the action and stunt scenes like Alice did?
You know, I love doing stunts. It's some of my favorite thing. But I had a stunt double on this. I didn't do the fall. This was a guy that did it. But I did some of my things, but he did that fall. So I didn't have to do that there. I didn't have to do big stunt fall in this, and I didn't have to do any really fighting in this one, which was fun. But it was fun to watch her because, you know, and be in it and just be around this. I really loved this film. I gotta tell you that much. This was an absolute gem to be a part of it. And I'm so glad that it's going to be in the Fathom event, be in 800 theaters across the States. I'm going to go up to St. Pete and watch it with my family and some of the, I think, guys I went to military school with and stuff like that. So it'll be fun.
Most actually, and you know what's extraordinarily fun is, Casper, to watch you act with the Swiss German accent. I mean, any words coming out of your mouth, it was just hilarious, and I mean, you know, it was like a laugh out loud. I couldn't even get it out sometimes. But tell us about developing that accent.
Okay, so when I read the script, when I sent it, like Alice, it was bonkers and wild and crazy. And then I saw the Starship Troopers references. I had been working on a German dialect for another script, but then that movie got pushed. So then I got this one, which was Swiss German. And so then I was talking to my dialect coach, and I would do some lines, and he would say it, and I would repeat it after him, and I learned how to do it like this, and he'd tell me what I had to do. And then sometimes I go, well, what if I said it like this? He goes, well, that kind of sounds like Tommy Wiseau. And I go, perfect. And then he would go, and then I go, well, that sounds like Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's like, you know, you're going into, I go, perfect. So all these. So then when I got to it, I was like, I don't know if my mistakes, because I wasn't intentionally doing it at first, but when they would come out and I would get that kind of reaction, I was like, oh my God, this is exactly what I need. And it kind of worked out that way for me. I loved it. My director they would laugh and they go, okay, Casper, that was too German, or that was too American, or we need this more. But then they would go, okay, that was funny. And they let me do some things, and they let me go like, in the scene with Cannorley, when I come and go, I'm just fucking with you and doing all that, they let me go crazy. They let me do me. And they had a poster of me fighting a bear with blood all over and in rags up there, not a poster, a painting that they had painted. And I was like, that's me. So I've got to be this, because they already had that painting. So I got to match that.
We need to get a petition, get Casper his painting.
Yeah, I need that. I would have been great back there.
Right. So,
yeah.
So you didn't get to keep the paintings. Oh no.
One of the directors did. He just wanted it, and I don't blame him. It's a cool painting. I would have that up. My wife would probably be like, "What are you doing?" But I would have it up.
That's wonderful. Well, Alex, I mean, for you, I guess it's fortunate you don't have to go with the really deep German Swiss accent for yourself. But let's throw it to you. As I know, Casper talked about his costumes in the film. What about for you? How did you enjoy, you know, wearing your unique costume and playing with the props in this film?
Yeah, I think that the costume and the props for Heidi really complement each stage of the journey that she's in. You know, at the beginning, you see her, David and I, who plays Alpoi, we had a discussion, because I said that I think that Alpoi is Heidi's mum's dad, and that actually she's at the age where it's her clothes that she's now wearing, because Alpoi hasn't got any. So for me, I added that sort of level of complexity into that character, which is why he can't often look at her in the eye when she's wearing that sort of outfit, because he just sees his daughter who he's lost. And then obviously she gets taken to prison and she has her identity taken away and she becomes just a number. And they're so nondescript and so, well, you know, just equally as detailed at the same time, that I think that when she then becomes, you know, Mad Heidi, and she's wearing the traditional Swiss dress, which was beautifully crafted, and each of those Edelweiss that were attached to the costume, they were on the back. I had Edelweiss throwing stars that's where she gets her strength again. And it's about, you know, that version of a Swiss outfit versus Casper, who had his version of a Swiss outfit, where they were both, you look at them both and you see Switzerland, but you see two very different sides to it. So I think they did a really, really good job of storytelling through costume and props in this film, definitely.
Yeah, and Kel's costumes.
Kel's was incredible.
Oh my God. And
Yeah.
yeah, everybody said Knorley was amazing. Everybody, there were so many good things. And Schwitzgable, oh my God. I loved all of it. I was having so much fun with all of them.
Too bad you folks didn't get to keep the costumes either, I imagine. So
I know, but I did manage to get my hand on some throwing stars, so that's all right.
Good for you. Yeah.
Most excellent. Well, let me wrap it up with one more thing, because this film is so much fun, bonkers, unexpected. People will love it. It's definitely already, I think, is going to be on the cult movie list for fans out there. But one of the things I have to mention is that this film introduces so much cheese, and I don't really know what it was like on production set of using real cheese or fake cheese. But after doing a film like this, what's your opinion on cheese now? Hey,
I love me some cheese. Would I eat cheese that's been lying on set all day? Probably not. But I love it. And I've said to Casper before, every time I see cheese now, it makes me smile.
Me too. It makes me smile now too. I'm not a cheese lover. I mean, I love cheese, but I'm lactose intolerant.
Whoa.
I know, unfortunate. But I do love vegan cheeses, and they're pretty darn good. And also, you know, I was Johnny Rico, and I'm also allergic to bees. So another iconic thing for me. And now I'm allergic. Now Miley, who's fighting against lactose intolerance, is lactose intolerant as the actor himself. Kind of funny.
Well, we learn a little bit about you every single time we talk to you, Casper. So
it's always a pleasure to see you, man.
There's your headline gig.
So thank you very much.
Thank
Really
you.
appreciate it.